Hey guys, what's happening? So this is my deck profile for my vision of Infernobles post Banlist. So of course, Infernobles were hit quite hard on our last Banlist with Link Cross and Smoke Grenade obviously being hit. They were, I would say, solidly the second deck, best deck of the format. However, with these two cards hit, the deck can't really be played in the same way. So most people view the deck as being dead. It is definitely not tier 1 or top tier 1 anymore. So let's face it, but most players in South Africa are not really playing tier 1 anyway, so I don't really understand the reluctance to play the deck. But anyway, as you'll see later on in the video, we'll be doing some test hands and so on. And it'll show you that the deck is really not dead. The deck is still alive, and now that we are able to innovate more, it's actually quite a formidable deck, and it's able to do quite a lot more than we used to do with it. So before we get into the actual deck list, I think it's important for us to actually understand what we lost. So we obviously lost Link Cross, which was important in the main combo, basically to give us the opportunity to bait out Nibiru and other high impact hand traps before making Hulk. So obviously Hulk is the main combo, how can I say, initiator. And if that got hit with a hand trap such as Nibiru or Gamma or whatever it may be, the combo is dead, you end your turn. So Link Cross basically made it possible for us to do something that was threatening enough, which is usually making Savage enough for that the opponent to need to hand trap it. So either they're going to Gamma it or they're going to Nibiru, and then you continue playing that after. Now the only way to actually do this at the moment is with Gear Freed. So you can actually drop Gear Freed on your 4th summon, equip it with something, and then you have almost the same protection that you did previously. It is something that clogs up your field a little bit. It's not as consistent because it's not in combo. You actually need to play to actually get it to your hand. So I'm not really convinced on this kind of play style, but it is something that I have some ideas around, and I'll talk about it a little later. Okay, so we lost Link Cross, and the other one that we lost was obviously Smoke Grenade. This was our surefire way to obviously rip an important board-breaking card from our opponent's hand or one of their play starters, depending on what their hand looked like, what we had in resources, and so on. This is also a big loss because it means that that we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh on a level playing field. Before we'd had a massive amount of information, hand information, which gave us a huge advantage. Now we're basically playing in the dark just like our opponent, so we need to make smart decisions as we go through. So also not having smoke means that Charles is less important, which is actually kind of convenient because the second best strategy, as you'll see later on, needed Charles as material. So we couldn't leave Charles face up. So now that we don't have smoke, we don't necessarily need to do that. Okay, so getting into the actual deck list itself. First off, we have 3 Renault. Obviously, this is the best card of the deck. You have to play 3. You can't really play the deck with 1, or you can play the deck with 1, but it's going to be a lot more difficult. Having Renault in your hand gives you a huge advantage over your opponent. So play 3 if you can, but if not, if it's a budget situation, I mean, you can play it with 1. Also, when you're playing, try and save him for later in the combo if you can, because obviously his effect allows you to add an equip, which could be DDR or Fossil, back to your hand. You could add a Gear Freed as well. So ideally, if you don't need him for your combo, rather hold him. If you have to use him, fair enough. But yeah, he's probably one of the best cards of the deck. Oliver, you need 3 of him as well. You also want to use, you don't want to use Oliver as early as possible. However, for the new combo that I'm going to show you a little later on that replaces link cross basically, you're going to need a level 1 tuner. So Oliver is one of your options, and if you want to go down that combo route, you're going to have to use him. Which also makes you kind of vulnerable as well, because remember, Oliver used to be our playthrough on the bureau. So now you're actually using him in combo, which means that you're a bit more susceptible to getting the bureau. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so then we have starters. We have 1 times Augia. Augia might end up being like our new play starter going forward. You might actually need 3. So if you're looking to play the deck, maybe look at trying to get more than 1 and just keep them aside. Connector at the moment is obviously the best play starter. To obviously look at your opponent's hand and rip a card, but it might just be that dropping your gear and then getting your gear free and stuff might actually be the better option. So just look into that. But it's worth some testing, and I'm going to be doing that in going forward. So I'll probably put up another updated deck list in the future, and then we can discuss that as well. Okay, so 3 times Adara. So Adara is, like I said, a level 1 tuner. You need this for the new combo. It's also an extender. So it's quite a good card in general, because you can just make Helk and you can continue your combo. But it does conflict with red layer. So just keep that in mind. You will see that I dropped 1 red layer from the deck, and one of the reasons is Adara. So yeah. Then we have Connector. Dolphin's broken. It baits hand traps. You look at your opponent's hand. So yeah, Connector. Connector is good. Dolphin, for the exact same reason, is really good. I've been seeing some guys playing 3 Dolphins in the side deck in like Drytron and a few other decks, and they're literally just summoning it, discarding a card, looking at the opponent's hand, maybe ripping, a ghost spell or an ogre or something, and then continuing their play. So this is a really good card. The fact that we can play it main deck and it's part of our combo is awesome. So I don't think you'll ever want to really drop these starters, Connector and Dolphin. That's good. Okay, then we go to extenders. We have 3 Fireflame Lady, probably the best extender in the deck. So you can use it while you control warrior, but you do need a warrior on field to summon it. So that's one of the problems that the deck faces, is keeping a field presence. So if you get Gamad, and if you get like Ogre and so on, that actually hurts a lot more than actually negating the effect. So as much as Fireflame is like a really good extender, just it's not always the best. You sometimes want to have other things, or want to put it on field before you actually combo, so that you don't have a situation where you don't have a warrior to drop her. Also, it unbricks your hand, so I'm not sure if a lot of players are actually using its second effect, but it's actually quite useful. So for example, if you drew your Gemba or your Tuner or whatever, and you used to put that on field, you can actually make Isolde, special summon a Fireflint, tribute the Fireflint to actually special summon the Tuner from your hand, and then you can continue your combo. So yeah, very useful, strong card. Red layer. So I'm playing 2 times red layer. Red layer is really good. It's a good extender. It's a grind card, because obviously every time you drop a red layer, you can add another red layer to your hand from your graveyard, which comes in clutch in very grindy matchups, because it keeps going. It allows you to just gain resources and then eventually obviously combo off or put something big on the field, but it keeps some defense up or some kind of board presence. Also, it's the level 5, so we use it for the level 8 Synchro with Tatsunoko, which is a very good play. So, I mean, you probably want to play 3, but just in this build, because you have Adara, and also because you're trying to get into 9s specifically, you'll see the next card takes that 3rd slot. So the next guy is obviously Lancelot. Lancelot is level 6 Fire Warrior. So if you need to make a 9, you can just use him and Tatsunoko instead of Red Layer, which is obviously a decision you need to make just before you make do your combo based on your opponent and whatnot. So I put Lancelot in. It's obviously not the better option, but it's a level 6 fire warrior. So yeah, so you can also try like Ector or something, but I think this is kind of better. Yeah, cool. Then we have Gearfried 1. Like I said earlier, you're summoning the Ogia, adding back the Gearfried with a no, putting that on field and then comboing off might actually be the combo going forward. But for now, I'm just playing 1. I'm not really convinced about the 3 Gearfried scenario. I've tested it at 3, and it's not ideal because you put him on field and Gearfried is an issue in that he takes up an extended space where you could obviously combo. You generally want to keep him on field because he's a negate, but at the same time he also clogs your field. So yeah, just do some testing around it, but generally 1 Gearfried is better on this build, and maybe if we're doing the Ogier thing, it might be okay going forward. 1 times Coltrane, obviously summon off Aurorodon, changes level, very strong, summons tokens. Yeah. Okay, and this is my replacement for Linkross, which is Doppel Warrior. So Doppel, I don't know if you guys, for those who don't know what it does, okay, so when this monster is special summoned from your, or when a monster is special summoned from your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard for a synchro, as a synchro material, you can special summon 2 double tokens, which are warrior level 1s. So basically it puts 2 level 1 tokens on field exactly like Linkross. The only problem is you need to have this in your hand, or in my situation, I am summoning it off of Isolde. So I'm sending 2 equips, summoning this, dropping a tuner, which is either the Oliver or the Adara earlier, and then I'm going into the full combo. So I am literally doing exactly what the Linkross combo used to do. It's just costing me pretty much 1 extra card, which is one of these tuners, either Adara or Oliver. You can use Renault as well, but it's not ideal, and you'll see that later on. So yeah, so this combo is like, it's pretty much the exact same thing. It's quite strong. However, it does require you to have a little more resources. But I think this is a good one for us to actually test out, and I think it's going to be good going forward. 1 times X-Saber Pashul. Pashul is basically a replacement for Gemba. I'm just testing it out. Gemba needs to do nothing anyway. This is a 2-1 defender. But Pashul it's a level 2, it's a warrior, it's a tuner, so it marks all of those things. But it's also an X-Saber. So if you're playing Gothams, then you could potentially tribute this to rip a card out of your opponent's hand. And Gothams is not once per turn. If you had Gothams and this on field, you're ripping 2. I'm not convinced on that because Gothams requires a lot of resources to make, but it could be a good option, a good combo option. You can quite easily rip 5 if you make Omega first and then Gothams, and then recycle the Gothams with maybe Cloud Castle. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, I'm testing that out. I'm not convinced about it, but I'm testing it. It should be fine. 1 times Despot, broken card, summons itself more than once per turn. Really good. Okay, then spells, we have Rota, 1 times Rota. 3 times Heritage. People forget that this card also can add from graveyard to hand. So as a player, just remember that if you run out of resources in your deck, you can add from graveyard to hand. So if you want to have like 1 Renault in your deck or something. But also, it can be hit with Ghost Spell. So a lot of players are playing Ghost Spell going forward. So just keep that in mind that it can be hit by that card as well. There's 1 time Upstart. The deck is quite efficient, so playing 39 cards means that this deck is even more efficient. So one of the things is that you're going to draw into your bricks more often. That's what I realized. But because you have so much search power and stuff like that, you kind of want to get to be as efficient as possible so that you can combo every single every single turn, basically. So there are other cards that can also make you drop the card count from 39 to like 36. So like drag down and so on. So I used to play drag down, but you can test it. Upstart, at least, I would say you should definitely play this because you don't need 40 cards of combo pieces. You can play 39 or 38 or whatever it is and play some drag down. Then we have 3 times DDR. This card is, in my opinion, it's like a really big brick. But in this, because you lost Smoke Grenade and Incross, you need as much resources as possible. So if you've drawn Fossil, you can use power tools as such as, which gives you an extra summon, an extra summon from out of play, maybe an extra Rockwood or Omega. So yeah, so it's good at 3 in this kind of build. 1 times Phoenix Blade, obviously it's broken, it's not once per turn. 3 times Living Fossil. Living Fossil, there's an extender early on, and then obviously a combo piece later. And then 3 times Durandal. Durandal is like, obviously it's good. I mean, we know that. You can search any level 5, so or lower Fire Warrior. So just keep in mind you can also search Red Layer with this. So if you know that your opponent is somehow, let's say you dolphined it and you saw a Gamma in their hand and they didn't use it, they're obviously keeping it for their soul. So you can potentially search a Red Layer, go into a soul, let them Gamma their soul, drop the Red Layer, drop a tuna and then go into help. Which I've seen that people would rather go for the Infernobles and then you can't really play it. So I mean, you can also search that. You can also use its secondary effect. It comes up quite often now that we don't have smoke. So you can equip Durandal to Charles, and then if Charles is removed from the field, you can special summon a Fire Warrior from the graveyard, and then you lock into Warrior. So what you do is you summon your Renault, and your Renault adds either TDR or Fossil, or a gear free from the graveyard to your hand. So you actually give you a second play. And some kind of protection in a way if you use this and equip it to chop. So yeah, good cut. Okay, then we have extra deck. 1 times Trish Fusion. We're obviously going into Calamities now, so we need as many 9s as possible. This is a really good option because we have like tokens spare and stuff on the field. You can just banish that, your Aurodon and something else, bring this guy out. Then we have Calamities. Calamities is a new boss monster, so pretty strong. Charles, obviously, it's not super important now, so I've seen people drop it for Shen or Croc, but it's still good. At the end of the day, I prefer him because he's still basically a quick pop Dragoon, in my opinion. Gotham's not really, like I said, I'm not really convinced about, but I am testing it. We could potentially revive for him. 1 times Savage, 1 times Omega strong. Power Tool, I've seen people play 2 Power Tools. You can try that. Like one of the nice combos I saw was they made 2 Power Tools, they overlay for Draco Sack, detach, special summon 2 tokens with Draco Sack, and then they continue the combo. But in that combo I saw that they end with Draco Sack with no tokens, which means that it's just basically a 26 beat stick. In my opinion, you can use those materials to make like Trish Fusion, so I don't think it's really worth it. 1 times Roland, 1 times Herald, 1 times Tuts, 1 times Metal Macho, 1 times Aurodon, 1 times Resolve. You can play 2, but in most cases, the second one only really comes up if your opponent doesn't know how to play against your deck. So if they like Ash, the first effect of Resolve, then you can make another one. But I mean, most good players are not going to do that. So whether you play 1 or 2 Isolves, a good player is going to shut down their combo anyway. So it doesn't matter. So that's basically a space. But I mean, you can test and see. 1 times Hulk, 1 times Formula. And then side. My side is not ideal, but it worked for me quite well. 3 times Ninja Turtle. It gets over zoo stuff. Obviously, Trident, Mega Gloves. It also good against Tritron. If they have like Herald on field, you can tribute it. Herald of Perfection, that is, yeah. Droll, 3 times Droll. Droll is really strong in the meta at the moment. Lots of decks it hits. 1 times duster. So at the moment, the method is slowing down. It's getting a bit more control based. So you want to have backward removal. So duster is like really strong. I play 2 times twister. So people are gonna disagree with me on this one. People are gonna say, cosmic is better. Cosmic is better in some ways. It banishes the card. But if you're a good player, like twister is better because it hits two targets. So you're going 2 for 2, but you're getting rid of 2 interruptions or two problems that you need to solve. And if you use it in the right time, especially like in the draw phase or something, like dogmatic card traps can't resolve. If it's like Lich, you can wait till end phase when they set. So if it's they're setting stuff that they activated that turn, then you can pop in and they can't activate it again. So it's a roundabout way to actually shut them down, but you're getting rid of 2 targets instead of 1. So I prefer the twisters. But anyway, it's my opinion. 1 times red layer, 1 times red reboot. Red reboot's super strong in this deck. It should be on my opinion, it should be on 2 or 3 or something in this method. But anyway, if you resolve red reboot in this deck, you should win. Then I played 2 times droplet. I played droplet because one of the biggest threats to this deck is calamities, and you want something to shut that down. So play droplet or play like chalice, the cheap option, imperm. But I need more targets than just 3 to shut down like calamities. So I play droplets. But yeah, you can play something else. Then obviously I have 3 times imperms. For the exact same reason, it's something to shut down calamities or lose or drive them. But obviously like imperm targets, so obviously they get immune to targeting, so that becomes an issue. So that's why the droplets were there. Yeah, cool. So that's the profile. I'm going to leave it there. If you have any questions, you can just let me know. I'm happy to answer them. You can like, comment, and then I'll try and respond as much as I can. But yeah, I have some test stands. You can just watch the videos and let me know what you think. And yeah, I'll post some new videos going soon, pretty soon. Cool. See you then.